Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily, presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thank you so much for being here. Monday, July 28th, and today was the first day of padded practice at Jacksonville Jaguars training camp. One of those big milestone pivot points in training camp, one of those steps towards real football. And as you have the Jaguars putting on the pads today, you also have the mark of the first week of the preseason, technically week 0 of the preseason, but we will have preseason football this Thursday night with the Hall of Fame game. So we are just getting closer and closer. And for me, the pads, it represents a big step for the team and again for the offseason. So very exciting day. We're going to get into everything I saw out there at Jaguars training camp, practice number 5. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear, help support us further, pick up some awesome t-shirts, hats, pins, all that good stuff. So Jaguars training camp, practice number 5. Again, they were in full pads. They were not like tackling to the ground. They were not wrapping up. Were there some hits where guys hit the ground? Yes, absolutely. But this was not like, still not like a full game where you're actually wrapping up and trying to drive to the ground, right? That's not the point of this. It's to get them more physical, to get the technique. Like the technique is different when you have pads versus no pads, right? Especially like on the line of scrimmage, different things like that. So it's just another step, right? But it felt a lot more like football. And got to start out, obviously, Travis Hunter was working on the offensive side of the ball today, which means during the special teams periods, he was working with the defense, getting some individual attention there. So no big surprise there, but this was training camp practice number 5. And Liam Cohen said on Saturday, no practice Saturday, Friday probably, one of these days, they're all getting jumbled together. But Liam Cohen said after practice a few days ago that the plan would be for Travis Hunter to have a practice where he is practicing on both sides of the ball during the first 6 practices. So I think you're looking at tomorrow as potentially the practice where Travis Hunter actually works both sides during team settings. Will that definitely happen? I can't guarantee it, but based on what Liam Cohen said earlier in training camp, it does seem like there's a good chance of that. So watch out for that. I'll be looking for that tomorrow on Tuesday. Now, we do have a number of injury updates. Liam Cohen updated the media with injury updates right after practice. Mason Smith still off to the side on the PUP. Dennis Gardeck still off to the side on the PUP. Both of those guys, though, according to Liam Cohen, are on track. We don't really know what on track exactly means, but whatever the team's expectation of when they would be able to get back, they are still on track for that. Dennis Gardeck coming off the ACL last year. Mason Smith dealing with a little lower leg. Patrick McCary, still dealing with a lower back. He had back spasms, I think it was Friday. So he was not out there today. Louis Rees-Zammit, who a lot of y'all have asked me about, he has a lower back situation. He's not practicing right now, but he is out there. He is with the team. He's just not practicing right now. Johnny Munt has an upper body injury. He hasn't been practicing for the last few days. Bashal Tutin was a new one today, off to the side with a hamstring injury. So he is not able to practice, which is very unfortunate for him. Obviously, a lot of folks looking for him to be a playmaker, offensive weapon for the Jaguars. Not being able to practice once the pads come on, not great. Again, he has a little bit of a hamstring, according to Liam Cohen. Chad Muma did have a very large wrap on his hand today, so something to keep in mind. And then Buster Brown is the big news, really, because he was looked at by this team, I think, as a starter opposite Tyson Campbell, or at least someone who could start. And he's not going to be back for training camp. They do expect him back for the regular season, but he has a left lower leg injury, according to Liam Cohen, and it's going to keep him out for the rest of training camp. So we've talked about it. That's big opportunities for Jarian Jones, for Travis Hunter, obviously, for DeAndre Prince, some of these other young guys as well. So that's where we're at with Buster Brown. That's why we haven't seen him the last few days. So this was the first time pads are on. You see one-on-ones, like you see one-on-ones between the wide receivers and the corners. You see one-on-ones between tight ends, running backs, and linebackers and safeties, one-on-ones between the defensive linemen. One thing I thought was very cool and another example of this coaching staff and organization working more efficiently. Normally, you have one field where like the entire offensive line and entire defensive line are working against each other. And one-on-ones, they had multiple groups going at one time. And you saw that there was multiple groups going at one time with offense, skill position versus defensive, like linebackers and safeties and corners as well. So where they were getting in more work with more guys during the one-on-one periods than I have seen from the previous regimes here in Jacksonville. Just another example of working more efficiently. Getting into practice today in terms of the team portion of things, Liam Cohen really liked the run game for the offense. He thought that the offensive line dictated a little bit in the run game, and he said that wasn't to say that the offense just dominated in the run game because the defense traded punches as well, and I certainly saw that. But yes, I do think that the offense had a really good day running the ball overall. And we'll get into some of those runs. Liam Cohen, final thing from him, and again, I always encourage y'all, go listen to the press conferences after practice. They're good information. Today, you had Liam Cohen talking. You also had Robert Hainsey, the Jaguars starting center, talking, and he has experience with Liam Cohen, so it's good to hear all that stuff. But Liam Cohen did say that he feels Anton Harrison has taken a step. He talked to him last week, one-on-one a little bit in the hall, and he noticed, the coaching staff had noticed, like Anton was really bringing it every single day. He was playing through the whistle. He was locked in. He was focused. And he asked him, is this going to be every day now? Is this what you're going to bring every day? And Anton Harrison said yes. And so they feel like Anton Harrison has taken a step in the right direction from a effort mentality standpoint, which that's huge because, as Liam Cohen said, Anton Harrison is incredibly talented. So getting him going in the right direction is huge. And I love that. Very excited for that because I've always been a big Anton Harrison fan. Some notes from the team portion of practice. We'll also get into some notes from one-on-ones. We will also obviously look at Trevor Lawrence and how he performed. Let's see here. Got to make sure my notes are in order between one-on-ones and team. Sorry. So, yeah. We'll get into team first. So Daniel Thomas had a nice, pretty big hit on a runner in teams. Daniel Thomas actually had multiple strong hits. So he's somebody, been a great special teamer, been around here a while. It seems like he is probably fighting for a roster spot, but his special teams value does carry significant weight. So just keep that in mind. Tank Bigsby had a lot of strong runs. Like he really brought it today in team, and a lot of the credit goes to the offensive line and the blocking scheme for clearing holes for him, but he had a really good day. There was one where Devin Lloyd got in that backfield and put Tank Bigsby down on the ground very quickly. That was full contact, full speed. Devin Lloyd and Foye Luke, and both of these guys have been so good against the run throughout most of their careers, but definitely in training camp so far. Travis Etienne had a couple nice carries as well. Parker Washington did have a drop in team that he should have caught. It was, slightly not a perfect throw. It wasn't from Trevor. It was from one of the other backups, but that's a drop. It was a drop, bottom line. And then you also had him drop a punt, which is not good, but he was able to rebound, and later on he had a really good contested grab in tight coverage. So a little bit of an up and down day for Parker Washington. Again, with the drop on teams and then the drop to punt and special teams. Jaquindon Jackson continues to stand out to me, and it'll be interesting to see how Tootin and McCary, not expected to be like anything long-term, but it remains to be seen when they'll get back on the field. Jaquindon Jackson, I think, is making the most of his opportunities, and he's been making the most of his opportunities throughout camp. If you haven't been paying attention, I feel like Etienne and Bigsby are the locks to be the top guys. Bashal Tootin was right behind them. I thought that Lee Quint Allen was also, in line for a role due to his ability to pass catch and pass protect. It looked like Jaquindon Jackson, the rookie running back out of Arkansas, who's a big guy, was probably going to be on the outside looking in. If Tootin isn't healthy, does that change anything? I don't know. It's too early to say. But what I can say for sure is Jaquindon Jackson is making the most of his opportunities. He had a really nice couple runs today and a nice catch and run. So you've seen him catch passes out of the backfield multiple times in the last few practices and also have nice solid runs. He's big, he's physical, but he's got more fluidity and quickness than you would expect for somebody who's like 230 plus pounds at his size. You saw Austin Trammell have a really nice run. He was able to run through a tackle, show off his quickness a little bit. Joshua Cephas, man, he might be the story, outside of the Trevor Lawrences, the Travis Hunters, Brian Thomas Jr., all the big names. Like Josh Cephas might be the story of camp so far because he has seemingly every single day been able to get open down the field. And I've talked about Cephas' ability to do this before. He does not have great long speed, but he has length. He can stride a little bit, and he's very explosive and quick off the line of scrimmage. He can gain an advantage early in the rep, and if the quarterback is able to see that, throw him the ball downfield, and he can go track it and go get it. And he's done that a lot. He had a bunch of catches today. So really, really good day for Joshua Cephas and a really good camp so far. I would be surprised if this continues. I don't think the Jaguars have any option but to keep him on the roster, quite honestly, if he continues to play the way he's been playing. Lequent Allen had a nice run during team today. Cam Camper, the rookie out of Boise State, had a really nice diving catch during team. Chandler Brayboy also had a really good catch and run, and he has shown off his speed several times with the ball in his hands, so that's somebody to continue to keep an eye on. One-on-ones, saw BT, Brian Thomas Jr., get a contested catch versus Tyson Campbell. Saw ETN have a nice one-handed grab against a linebacker in coverage. Lequent Allen had a diving grab and had a big contested catch down the field during one-on-ones. Showing off his ability to really be a receiving threat. Christian Braswell, he had a rep where he really locked up Irwin. And now I got to admit, I was trying to see the offense and see offense versus, offensive skill position versus defensive coverage guys. And I was also trying to see O lineman versus D lineman all at the same time. So I did not see everything, bottom line. But this is what I did see. Again, Christian Braswell locked up Trenton Irwin. Ventrell Miller almost got an interception in coverage. Again, this is one-on-ones. Anton Harrison, saw him a few times handle Emmanuel Ogbah. I saw Trayvon Walker. He's given Walker Little all he can handle, and that should come as no surprise. I think Trayvon Walker's in line for a big year. So Walker Little, they had some competitive reps for sure, but I would give Trayvon the advantage there. Lequent Allen, I mentioned he had the great contested catch. Josh Hines Allen and Anton Harrison kind of going at it a little bit on that right side of the offensive line, left side of the defensive line. I would definitely say the 3 reps that I saw, I would say 2 out of 3 for Josh. And he's another one. He's just incredibly tough to beat. Joshua Cephas had a win down the field in one-on-ones as well. Big catch down the field. So again, that guy's he's doing really well for himself. Trevor Lawrence today was 7 of 9. This was a shorter practice. Pads come on. I think they want to make sure that they're not letting things get out of hand. They will have a little bit of a longer day tomorrow, but I think they just wanted to keep things managed, keep things in control, and again, be very efficient in what they're doing. So like yesterday, for example, I think Trevor Lawrence had like 22 passes. Today, he only had 9, but he was 7 of 9, and he completed a pass to Brenton Strange to get to 1 of 1 to start 11 on 11, and all of the team today was 11 on 11. There was no 7 on 7. Strange, nice gain on that one. 2 of 2 complete to Brian Thomas Jr. I don't know. It looked like Trayvon Walker might have sacked him on that play in a real game, but can't really tell. 3 of 3, he was able to hit Cephas deep down the field. Again, Joshua Cephas' name just keeps coming up. Great play by Joshua Cephas. 4 of 4 complete to Travis Hunter. Again, may have had some trouble with Trayvon Walker on that play. Couldn't tell for sure if he would have hit him or not, but 5 of 5 complete to Travis Hunter for the second straight play. And Josh Hines Allen did jump off sides on that one, but it didn't matter. First incompletion, he was targeting Brian Thomas Jr. deep down the field. There was double coverage. Tyson Campbell and Darnell Savage were both there. I think if Trevor put a little bit more on it, maybe it's a catch. But Darnell Savage should have picked it off. He got both hands on it, went up for it, got both hands on it, was not able to come down with it. Still a good play by Savage. And that's going to happen sometimes when you're targeting deep down the field. Next play, missed communication with Brian Thomas Jr. It looked like Trevor was expecting BT to more hastily get outside and turn his head, and BT wasn't quite ready for the football. Next play, got to 6 of 8, completed a pass to De'Ami Brown. Final pass of the day for Trevor Lawrence was a nice completion to Britton Strange, but Josh Hines-Allen was dropping back in coverage and forced a fumble after Britton Strange was running with it for a second. So that was a really good play by Josh Hines-Allen, heady play, and that's the type of thing you expect from him. So numbers-wise, we have 7 more completions to add to the 45 total for Trevor Lawrence. 45 plus 7 is 52. No mathematician, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. 74 total attempts plus 9 more attempts would be 83. So we're looking at 52 of 83. No touchdowns or interceptions today. No drops for the receivers on Trevor Lawrence throws. 1 turnover-worthy play for Trevor Lawrence. So through 5 practices, he has thrown 1 interception, which was a tip at the line, and has had 1 turnover-worthy play, which again was that Darnell Savage play that he should have gotten the interception. So 52 over 83, sitting about 62.6, almost 63% completions. That has improved over the last couple of days. I thought yesterday and today were probably his 2 strongest practices. Liam Cohen talked about the development with the footwork, and he thought today was really good with Trevor Lawrence and his footwork, which is obviously a good sign, progressing within the type of footwork that they're coaching for this offense. So that'll do it. Really appreciate y'all tuning in today. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Again, you can also check out genjag.com/shop, pick up some new Duval gear. Y'all have a good one.